It's Rich Clark, and for Throwback Thursday I'm going to talk about some more of my favourite films. So the first film I'm going to talk about, and this is kind of going into sort of dystopian ideas, is the first film I'm going to talk about is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now, you all may know the first Terminator was released in 1984 and written, directed and co-wrote the script with James Cameron. Now, this was obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger's major first film. Talks about the Terminator, which was a cyborg for the future, which ended up that mankind was defeated by the cyborgs, and they actually went to go behind and they wanted to actually kill the person who actually humankind defeated the AI cyborgs, called John O'Connor. But instead of John O'Connor in the first Terminator, it was Sarah O'Connor, his mother. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, is slightly different. This was done in 1991 and it was directed by Cameron, and it starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lyndall Hamilton, who is Sarah O'Connor, Robert Patrick, who is T-1000, and Edward Furlong, who is John O'Connor. It is the sequel to the Terminator. So, in this one, the AI Skynet sends a Terminator highly advanced back into 1995 to kill the future leader of human resistance, John O'Connor, when he's a child. Now, the first Terminator was a massive success, and we all know this. So the main thing of this plot is in 2029, Earth is ravaged by a war between the AI Skynet and the human resistance. Skynet sends this T-1000, an advanced prototype shape-shifting Terminator made of virtually indestructible liquid metal, back in time to kill the resistant leader, John O'Connor.
Wait here.
Hurry up! Hurry up! Kill us all! You kill us all!
Hold now!
You kill us all! Mom, are you okay? Mom!
Come with me if you want to live.
It's okay, Mom. He's here to help. It's okay.
Go!
Now, why is this film important? Well, because a lot of people are afraid of AI. They're afraid of AI because people who are creating AI, that it can be good for humankind and humanity. However, the people who are also in charge would make this a weapon. So this film was a warning of what could happen if AI falls in the wrong hands. Now, in this 1995 Los Angeles, John Connor's mother, Sarah, is incarcerated in a mental state hospital for violent efforts to prevent Judgment Day. She sees these events, which are going to happen in 1997, of where Skynet will gain sentience, and in response to its creators' attempt to deactivate it, incite a nuclear holocaust. Now,
Let's try this one. Hey!
Within this film, you've got John O'Connor who's living with foster parents. He very much doesn't feel safe, and the T-800 is there to actually try and prevent John O'Connor being killed. Now, Sarah O'Connor, because of the first film, is obviously afraid of the T-800 because it was the thing what was trying to kill her. So it's kind of weird that there's a full circle here, because Arnold Schwarzenegger's cyborg is actually now trying to help Sarah O'Connor, where in the first film it's actually trying to kill her. So this whole film is about the idea they're trying to find out who created this chip, which actually then leads onto the AI, and they actually then find the person who's actually a cyborg engineer called Miles Dyson.
Dyson. Yes. The materials team is running another series this afternoon, and you have to sign for you have to sign it out.
Okay, come on, I'll get it.
Listen, Mr. Dyson, I know I haven't been here that long, but I was wondering if you could tell me, if you know.
Know what?
Well, if you know where it came from.
You know, I asked them that very same question once, and you know what they told me? Don't ask.
Morning, Mr. Dyson.
How's it going?
Okay. Insert key. Left on 3, 2, 1, turn. All the wife and kids?
Great, thanks.
There you go.
And Miles Dyson is the guy who then actually is the person who, once he's explained what the future is going to happen, he then actually goes to try and destroy this chip. Now, this whole idea is we get understanding about the whole idea of what the future robots could do, because they now have more advancement and so forth. So the reason why I like this film, at the time, it was very much the sci-fi and the special effects was exemplary. The other thing as well, this film, it also was something where I think people in the 90s and especially the late 80s were wondering about where the future was going to go, because technology was advancing so quickly. From the personal computers we had to the personal computers were developing. Obviously by the 2000s the computers were way developed more than they were in the 90s. Now, what this film is like many films by even Philip K. Dick films of Blade Runner and so forth, is always the warning of how AI, if it falls in the wrong hands, can cause the destruction of humanity. Now, why as a hypnotherapist am I discussing this? Well, because there's a lot of people who are afraid of AI. There's a lot of people who are afraid of the future. And we have to sort of understand that the future, if it's done right and it's done with the right people, it can actually be very beneficial to the progress of humanity. You imagine if AI, we use it correctly and we can cure diseases, we can cure illnesses, we can actually work out people's issues with their DNA. It's incredibly an advanced way of technology that we have to also be careful that if technology runs away with itself and becomes self-realized, then it can also cause a problem. And the reason humans are afraid of AI is for one reason, because they have the morals and ethics of understanding what is right. And actually, technically, this is where it could be, is that robots would see that humans are the destruction of humanity, not robots. So there's this very much this juxtaposed position, this dynamic idea of consequence of how does this work. So if you've seen the film, you see obviously what happens and how obviously all these things come together. But what this story is always about is about the choice. The choice is with human beings, we have to, not only if AI is going to be part of our world. Technology is part of our world. We have embraced it, probably to the point that maybe we are over-reliant on it. But the other idea is actually, if we don't watch who are creating and using this AI incorrectly, and this is where the issue is, then that is where humanity will fall down. Because the trouble is with humans, over time, is that humans in the end want to play, whether you're religious or not, want to play God. And the idea of AI is giving birth to something which they know that actual God couldn't create. It is only through human technology where we can create this. So this film, The Judgment Day, also has very much important ideas. In the clip I'm going to show you now, this shows about what Sarah Connor believed what she saw and then what she sees in the end because of the actions of the film actually stop this reaction from happening. So in this whole idea is that James Cameron's story was that the idea, it was trying to get people to think of actually where technology could be, but actually how, if we misuse it in the wrong hands, in hands of evil, especially governments and military, this is where AI could end up. So I think this film's very important. I think it actually has more of a depth now because of what it's actually trying to warn us about, the idea of we should just be very wary of who we put our technology and the advancement of technology into the wrong hands. Anyway, if you have seen the film, great. If you haven't, please watch it. And if you are very much have an issue with the idea of technology and you're afraid of how it's going to advance our world and how we're going to impact it and how we should merge it together, please do not hesitate to have a consultation with me. And I have worked with people who are very much afraid of technology and need to get over this, because technology can be very much helpful and conducive to our being as humans. And it does help with a lot of things. And whether you like it or not, computers are here to stay, and so is technology.